Hi, I'm attorney Robert Rubenstein, and this is Rubenstein's Rules for Personal Injury. Rule number one, get an attorney. When you or a loved one have been injured by another's negligence, an experienced attorney can make a huge difference. At Rubenstein Law, we will find all of the insurance, make sure your injuries are documented, and work to get you the best result. While each case is different, a well-known insurance company's own study showed people with a lawyer, on average, got more money. Call Rubenstein Law at 1-800-FL-LEGAL.
That's right. I tell you right now, I've never had a better experience until I built my first one. And then from then on, it was just a great time, great life ever since.
How many have you built?
I'm on my 28th. This one right behind me is my 28th. And I've been doing this now for about a year and 4 months.
I'd say that's pretty good stats there.
Yeah, I'm trying to do the best I can.
I know you've been enjoying your run here with Born to Ride, and we've been getting your message out all through the southeast part of the U.S.
Yeah, I have to say, Born to Ride has been a big influence on my trailer sales in the last 2 or 3 months. It's been nothing but a big surprise. I mean, the magazine articles, everything in the commercials, it's been nothing but the best of help to me in my business.
Randy, I know everybody's out there ready to give you a call. How do they get in touch with you? Where are you located?
Well, I'm located in the Almerton 66th Street area. The actual address is 12847 66th Street North in Largo. Or you can reach me at 455-0276. Or you can find me on Facebook at www.facebook.com/tinytrailernation.
All right, and we definitely have to get you out to a few more Born to Ride events because you've got to see these, got to touch them, you got to feel them, and just envision yourself riding the roads and traveling down the road. Thanks, Randy. Stay tuned.
Hey, it's the
John and
me, Heather Show coming to you live from
our production studio, riding with Born to Ride, finest publication in the universe.
That's right. You can read it, you can see it, and you can hear it. How about that? So you can ride it. How's everyone doing? And a happy Tuesday to everybody.
Happy Tuesday.
Yeah. We are back from a very busy weekend this weekend. We had a great
She
time.
didn't let me stop moving for 5 minutes.
No, we went really far this weekend. We traveled to Charlotte County,
Arcadia.
Mm-hmm.
We went out on the breast cancer
awareness ride with some good friends of ours, Rick and Christy.
Weather was a little bit touch and go there for a while, but we're ride or die. So we went ahead and we drove. 6 in the morning, I got Harleys rolling in the driveway, and it's raining out. I'm like,
yeah, it was terrible. We wanted to go so
we actually took the cage. We did. I'm not going to lie. We took the cage. And the reason why is with everybody riding, and starting with the downpour, I'm following my brothers and sisters to make sure they get where they're going okay.
Yeah, exactly. We wanted to make sure everybody was all right.
Mm-hmm. That's what you do. If you're not going to ride because you got equipment, you got the cage, and it's raining out, you got a brother and sister that they need to go ride, follow behind them, give them some room, and keep an eye on them.
Exactly, and that's what we did. We had a great time. We met a lot of really fantastic people.
Cancer survivors,
breast cancer survivors, siblings,
family
members, friends. It was it was a really great time. Yes. And it was really neat to meet these people.
We met Beth, who was on our show. She is the breast cancer survivor that also had metastasis to her brain. So she was there, and she was in great spirits.
And she's doing great. Yeah. So it was a great time.
It was.
And we had a great time.
Also, we did the other one, too, the Ride to Ozello.
Yes, we did.
On YouTube right now. Check this out. We went to Harley, and from Harley, a mile up the road is one of the nicest trails in Florida to ride. It's the Ozello Trail. The Ozello Trail in Citrus County is 10 miles of twists, turns, great little restaurant.
Mini Tail of the Dragon.
Yeah, it's a Mini Tail of the Dragon. There's Peck's Restaurant at the end of the road, which is just a really good restaurant. And it's a seafood, and the view is great. And we got a lot of footage. Go check that out. It's on YouTube. It is, Harley and Ozello Trail? I think so we named it.
If you're going to ride to Harley, then ride the Ozello Trail.
You'll see that on our YouTube channel. Go ahead and check it out. It's some really good ride footage, and we had a good time.
Yes, we did. And with that, we're going to go ahead and show you a little bit more of some Born to Ride.
Tiny Trailer Nation. You're watching Born to Ride TV.
Are you down with the nation? Tiny Trailer Nation, the biggest secret in travel and adventure. Take your motorcycle anywhere. Live in comfort on the spot. Say goodbye to hotel costs. Campers, toy haulers, themed trailers built for any budget. One bike or two. Includes electric, water hookups, microwave, refrigerator, sink, tie downs, and more. Your trailer or ours, new or used. Your dream is here at a working man's price. Tiny Trailer Nation, biker, musician owned, a name you can trust.
Hi, I'm attorney Dwayne Terry from Rubenstein Law, and this is Rubenstein's Rules for Personal Injury. Rule number 10, you have a right to safety. Many businesses have a duty to keep their property safe from violence. This applies to apartments, shopping centers, and other businesses. They may have to provide appropriate lighting, secure windows, gates, as well as on-site security. At Rubenstein Law, we offer a free evaluation of your case if you or a loved one have been assaulted.
For all these rules and more, go to RubensteinLaw.com.
Hey guys, this is Deputy LaCaze with the Volusia Sheriff's Office. I want to welcome you to Daytona Bike Week 2020. One of the things I'd like to see is all the people here. We're glad that you all come, and I just want to make sure that you understand, please don't drink and drive and ride safe.
Is your business becoming invisible? Create a great advertising relationship today with Born to Ride. Call 888-795-5779.
What do I get out of Baca? Wow. The knowledge knowing that I've done something that no one else can do. That's to give a child their life back.
Baca is probably the only organization that can do what it does that exists in the world right now.
The goal of Baca is eventually to break the chains of child abuse, so that these children don't grow up and bring what happened to them into their relationships.
First found out about Baca through my counselor. She said that we should look into this, that Baca was a group of bikers who help and they support kids who've been abused. Before the abuse, I do remember like a happy, just normal life.
Rhythm was very carefree. She was loving and fun.
When I told my mom, she talked to me for about an hour.
She came in and she said, I'm being abused and I want you to know I don't want it to happen anymore. I want it to stop.
My extended family didn't think my story was true. They thought a lot of it was made up. I had night terrors. I was seeing like 2-3 counselors. That was partially why my counselor informed us about Baca.
Level 1 is the first interaction that the child's going to have with the entire chapter. It's where we bring that child in and make them part of our biker family.
Leading up to the night of my level 1, I was kind of like not sure what to expect. All I knew is that there was going to be a lot of bikers at my house in the morning.
That when a child's been brought into Baca, and we decided that it's a case that fits our mission, we as the chapter as a whole will ride off to wherever the child feels safe at to meet. That means the whole chapter goes, or everybody's had a background check will ride.
There's a little bit of a ceremony that goes on with it. The child's reminded about the initial contact where everything is explained to them, what Baca is, what we do, what we don't do.
We present them with a vest, and it has a patch on the back of it and their road name, and it just makes them feel part of.
They get assigned to the members as primaries. Those members are on call for that child 24/7 around the clock.
Peppermint, would you like to meet your primaries now? We have Rembrandt and Lucy. Rembrandt and Lucy have always been here for me, and Baca will always be here for you.
Hi, Peppermint. I'm Lucy. It's nice to meet you.
Peppermint, I'm Rembrandt. It's nice to meet you.
Seeing this like group of adults, bikers, like being so kind, not even bringing up what happened to me, just saying like, hey, we're here for you. Like, we're your new family. It meant the world to me.
The level 1 is probably something that is the most empowering part of what we do, because we see a huge change in these children. After about 40-45 minutes, those kids are interacting with our members. In some areas, they go for rides with the membership. They take them on a short ride around the neighborhood.
They looked at her like she was just another amazing young kid.
We're just there just to empower them, to show them that there's people out there that really care about them, and that they're becoming part of our family. And then when they become part of our family, that we have their backs.
When there's a court case, if the judge allows us, we will escort that child to the courthouse. A lot of times when kids go to court, the family members of the perpetrator will show up and they try to intimidate that child.
Carry me home when the light in my eyes does fade. Carry me home when the shadow comes to take me away. Lay down my bones now and now. my soul. Carry me home. Carry me home. There's a sour down in the ground. Carry me home. Don't you weep for right and freedom. Lay down my bones. There is peace within the light I found. Release my soul. Carry me home.
Are you scared? No. You're not?
My friends are a lot scarier than he is.
Carry me home when the light in my eyes does fade.
When I see these kids, the light come back into their eyes. I get more out of Baca than I could ever put in.
Standing up for child abuse is probably one of the bravest things somebody can do.
You see them after we get involved, and their self-confidence is beaming. They're doing better in school, and they're not afraid anymore. And that's what we do. We give them their life back.
I grew as an individual. I joined clubs in high school. I became varsity captain of the cheer team. I was a vice president. I'm going to college. I owe that to every single person in my life, especially Baca, who stood by me and who supported me and said, it's okay to be scared. We're here for you until you're not.
Nobody gets paid in Baca. Everybody's volunteer from the president down.
We, my brothers and sisters, will do whatever we can to make sure that they feel safe. And when we do that, they can trust again and they can start being kids again. That's what I get out of Baca.
Everything on this patch means something. The white is the innocence of the child.
The red is the blood that's been shed.
The black represents the dark times that child is going through.
The skull and crossbones is death to child abuse.
The fist is our commitment to fight child abuse. And the chains on this patch stands for one Baca, one united nation. This patch means everything to me. This is my family.
If you are being abused, if you are scared, tell somebody.
Hey. Well, that was some sort of video. Let me tell you. That really, it hit home. And we just did the pinwheel ride.
The Biker Cares pinwheel ride for
2 weeks ago.
abused children also. So they're not affiliated, but they have a lot of the same goals, and they're just great and fine organizations.
Such as Baca.
Yeah, we met the Baca guys.
You're right. We met the Baca guys, and they were just, Baca is an amazing place, amazing affiliate of brothers and sisters.
Yes, and hey, no child deserves to live in fear. I mean, if you think about something like that, there's abused children in the United States, even people that you wouldn't know. They could be adults at this time, and they know what it's like to be abused. And then being able to be in an organization such as Baca, after being abused themselves, they understand what these children of battered sexual abuse, physical abuse, emotional abuse, what these children go through. And these are fine organizations that are there to support and help that child out through any of their emotional needs or any of the needs that they may need, whether it's bullying, whether it's an abuser, whether it's a family member that is getting out of hand, Baca will take care of it.
Yes, they
And
will.
the biker cares even do a little bit more than that. They help
Bikers
financially.
Care is
They
amazing.
help financially too.
Yeah, Bikers Care is amazing. We met with them at the pinwheel ride. They're the ones that put
Ninja
on
and Guard Dog. Right?
Guard Dog and Ninja.
Yes. Guard Dog is like this, and Ninja is like that. They're husband and wife.
They're a very unique pair.
Very unique pair.
And
Because he's
they
so
were-
tall and she was so short, but they were so good together. That, the Cares Run is also on our YouTube page if you want to go see the Biker Cares Run.
you should
You
definitely
really-
watch
you
it. It was a
should.
great ride, and we
We're a
met
good
a lot.
200 deep in that ride too.
Yeah, a lot of bikers, a lot of our brothers and sisters came out to support that. And speaking of brothers and sisters,
Oh, we got our
there's
buddy Al
one.
Hagar.
Hey, Al, how you doing, brother Al?
Angel
Love you
City
guys.
Biker.
Always tomorrow. Oh,
in Georgia.
He's leaving for the Angel City Bike Rally tomorrow.
Okay, well,
at least-
I didn't even know there was one. Well, guess what? This little public service announcement handed out by our good buddy Al Hagar, telling
Al
you that-
Lights. Yep, we
Lights.
love you, Al.
Yeah, that's his road name, is Lights. So we had a really good time. So we had the Biker Cares event. We rode that. We showed up there to the Biker Cares event first, and we interviewed the founders of the event, and it was a very emotional interview. A lot of tears were shed, and it was really, really good for everybody to watch. And please, I really recommend that you go check that out.
It was
on our YouTube channel, because it's just a really good. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I'm just saying that I really think that we did a good job, especially providing information
Yeah.
about these organizations.
Yeah.
Yes, I know it's funny, but
It was.
but you know what I'm saying, though. I mean, helping out any organization that helps out children.
It's important. And people, one of the things that we learned that was really important about this was that people tend to turn their backs and not help. They tend to say that they don't want to get involved,
Or afraid to.
Yeah, so we just want to try to encourage people get involved.
Yes.
That's what we have to say about
If you suspect abuse, tell somebody about it.
Yeah, definitely get involved.
Especially when it comes to a child, because a little bit of something that can happen to them young could really mess them up later in life.
Exactly. So please do get involved. And on another note, on a lighter note, let's talk about some good things going on. We got the Cackleberry coming on.
Okay, Cackleberry's coming on, and
We will have
night,
tomorrow night, we will have Taz, the MC, coming on
the
tomorrow night,
man himself.
letting us all know more about Oktoberfest and what's going on at the Cackleberry.
Yes.
So we'll find out all about the playlist, who's going to be playing,
yes,
what big
well, I know we got a few. We got the Wall of Death that's going to be there. The Wall of Death are the guys that ride the motorcycles using the centrifugal force around like this and high five everybody.
those are going to be.
They're doing it actually for free. They're just doing it for tips.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is something new. So if you guys have never seen it and you just didn't have a lot of cash on you, this year the Wall of Death at the Cackleberry will be free of charge. They will just be operating on tips only, and that's from Taz himself. Also, slime wrestling will be going on.
Yes, it will be.
Will be going on, and
we're
I
excited.
can't wait.
I know it's going to be so much fun.
Wait for slime wrestling, and Twisted Tea is going to be there too, putting up the $1,000 prize money for the hot body contest, bikini contest, whatever debauchery we're going to have going
I would
on.
love to do that.
Yeah.
Too bad I don't have a hot body.
Yes, you do, man. You work out. You're beautiful, baby.
Thank you, baby.
You are.
That's because you're my husband.
Yes, I understand that, but you
I
are a
appreciate
beautiful woman. You
I
really are.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
But
And then
then-
also we have the chili cook-off coming up too. Roscoe's
Yes,
chili
we got
cook-off.
Roscoe's Chili Cook-Off coming up soon, and we got a lot of stuff coming up.
That's going to have the outhouse races, the thong races. I want to see what a thong race is. Apparently, they put a thong on a woman, strap it to some weights, and she has to run.
Yeah, that's
Put a
gonna
thong
be-
on, attached to the weights.
We'll be seeing that at the Cackleberry, I think. But anyway, so we're going to go ahead and tell you a little bit. We've got our guest who we're going to talk about this evening. He's going to be coming on in just a minute, and that is going to be somebody special.
Yeah, Mike Sharpe.
Mike Sharpe, and he is somebody really unique.
Interesting individual with a very good story, a very, interesting story, heartfelt story, just
Yes.
something that's really, interesting to see, about the struggles and trials and tribulations of an artist and a musician himself.
Exactly, and what he's gone through it, and he's got some amazing stories to tell, and he's a darn good singer. So I think he's ready. Are you ready,
Hey,
Mike?
I can see you down there in the green room. Are you ready, buddy? I'm just seeing your head right now, not the rest. I'm just seeing your body, not your head. You have to adjust your camera there a little bit, pal. There you go. That's better. A little bit higher. A little higher. A little higher.
Right. There
Hold
we
on
go.
1 second. Let him get that. There we go. Now we can see. You may have to bend down a little bit, but there we go.
All
All right, let's bring on Mike.
Hold on, let me close my door. My dog's trying to tell me to let him out. Right here. You're gonna have to wait.
After you've done the show a while, you remember I walk my dogs first. I always remember to do that.
He's gone out like 8 times this hour.
I guess
Come on, give me a break.
How you doing,
How
Mike?
you doing, Mike?
I'm doing good, man. How you guys doing?
Oh, couldn't be better. Couldn't be better.
We are great.
Now, Mike, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? What was your inspirations? Things like that.
First off,
Yeah, okay.
who are you and what have
tell
you
us
done?
who Mike Sharpe is.
I'm a dude with a guitar.
That's a good one.
Look, to put me in a nutshell, man, I just want to make people forget problems for a little bit, share music, bring people together, and try to make some kind of positive thing out of all the negative that's happened.
There's a lot of negativity going on. Right now.
That's admirable. That's very admirable. Now, I know a little bit about you, but just to fill in our guests, our listeners, because you're our guest, I want them to know a little bit about you and who you've sung with, what you've done, a little bit of your history.
All right. So bands I played with were Foreigner, Blue Oyster Cult, Pat Travers, Molly Hatchet, Cheap Trick, Jefferson Starship, Lenny Kravitz, Dave Matthews, Pitbull, Smash Mouth, 311, Stabbing Westward.
I'm like in an amazement right now. I'm like, wow.
When that stuff rolls off my tongue, I gotta remind myself that I did too, because it was all pretty surreal. I had literally never played a show, and my first show I ever played was for 20-something thousand people with Foreigner.
Wow.
I was literally on the street, and some guy heard me out there, heard me and my buddy, and he's like, "You guys are great." And he got a bass player and a drummer and a CD, and a week later he's like, "You want to play with Foreigner?" I'll never forget looking out that little screen when they said you got 2 minutes left, and I'm looking out. I was like, I ain't fucking going out there.
But you did and triumphed.
Yeah, and it was crazy because there were, how all the people stay in the hallways when the opening band comes on.
Yeah,
on our third song, the doors opened up and the whole place. We sold like 3,000 CDs that night. It was crazy, and it just went. It was.
And how old were you at that time?
I was 28.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah. I never intended on being in a band or a musician. I just like to write songs.
You got to play with some of the best bands ever.
Man, stood side to side with them boys, man. And a lot of people are like, "Man, that must hurt. You didn't, make it all the way." I'm like, "Are you crazy? Do you know the memories I have?" Like,
just
that's worth
alone.
Yeah, that's worth more than any money in the world, man. Like I lived.
Speaking of that, that's another thing. I'm sure, and we'd love to go ahead and talk about that. Being that you got involved into the music industry, we also know that music industry has rock and roll, drugs.
It's a brutal mistress.
It's a wicked mix.
During the time where I was in music, like heavy like that, I didn't do a lot of drugs. I would occasionally maybe do some coke. Like literally occasionally. I don't drink, so I would drink at shows sometimes a little bit. I took some Xanax. It was like a thing. I wasn't an addict back then. That didn't happen until my accident. That's what caused like my severe addiction. Everything else was just, I partied a lot.
Okay.
And did you? Speaking of partying a lot, I'm sure that you have a lot of great memories with all of these different bands.
Oh my God! After hours
So
party.
one of my best favorite memories is we did the Phillips Extreme Games, where they have like Tony Hawk and the skateboard and shit. Excuse me. And Monster Energy drink, so they were the sponsor of it. So you got the Monster Energy girls walking around and stuff. So we were playing with Stabbing Westward. They come to us afterwards. They were like, "You guys were awesome, man. We're hanging out. We now end up on the bus. There was me, the singer of Stabbing Westward, their bass player, my singer, my percussion player, and 13 Monster Energy drink girls. I don't know how, but literally I remember waking up and there was bodies everywhere. I was like, what the hell? I don't remember it. I know I must have had a great time. Damn, I blew that one. I blew that one bad. I don't remember it. But I know I had fun.
13 hot women. I like those odds. Just a couple guys and 13 women, and your rock stars. Ooh, those are great odds.
Yeah.
We must have had some fun.
You must have. We're trying to remember.
I must have.
Did you ever find any pictures?
What's that?
Did you ever find any pictures of yourself from?
Yeah. I have most of them. You got to remember that's late 90s, 99 till like 2008 or 9 or something when that happened. So a lot of that stuff back there wasn't many digital cameras. It was print.
Yeah.
And I used to have every show from the stage point of view, the crowds, and pictures of me with the other bands, and I would tape them to my wall. And I thought it would be a good idea to grow some pot. And one day I got my little bit of pot growing in there, and I hear a knock on the door. I open it, and the guy's like, "Do you own that Honda Accord out front?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "I hit it. I veered off." And I went to close the door. I was like, "That, don't worry about it. If you're all right." And he kicked the door in, like, "Thomas Sharpe, DEA, you're growing marijuana." I had like a couple of plants. They were like, "Dude, we thought you were like a big grower or something." I was like, "Dude, I'm just growing some head stash to take on tour." Anyways, long story short, was they ripped everything fucking down and took all my shit. They robbed me almost. They took the buds, they took the CO2 tanks, they ripped my pictures off the wall, took my guitar, and left me there.
They left you there?
Yeah, they didn't arrest me.
So what was the whole point of them kicking in your door to steal a couple?
They said somebody told them that I had a big grow house there. I had like 8.
Oh man!
So I guess pissy that they came down there for 8 plants. Literally, listen, the guy's like, "Oh, you're in a band," and I'm not making this up. He's like the head guy. He's like, "You're in a band." He's like, "Play me Sweet Home Alabama." So I'm sitting on the freaking couch with the guy. I'm Sweet Home, and these guys are walking out with my buds and my lights. And like, you can't make that shit up, man. It was weird, but yeah, I lost all my pictures, from that time. I have a couple, and people send me stuff, but and my uncle or my aunt, my uncle passed, but my aunt's got videotapes of all the shows, pretty much just about everything.
So what happened was that after you got, you started to get famous and you started to develop more of, a following and everything else, and that's when the addiction problems started happening with you.
No, not even. No, I'm telling you, I didn't party much. Then I partied at the shows, but when I was home, I didn't do anything.
But right now you're doing better. I see you're doing really good. You look good right now, and you're doing everything. So tell us about your recovery.
Well, like I said, it started.
Your accident.
Let's start with the accident.
I was in Virginia for a few years. When I came back to Miami in 2016, I was actually logging up there. I lived up on a mountain for a couple of years, just cutting trees by myself. And I came back here in 2016. I put together a pressure washing company and just gotten a few apartment complex contracts and was doing great. And I went up on this roof. So my employee didn't show up, but I went up anyways, and the ladder slipped. And I shattered my hip and my femur and my knee.
Oh.
Was told I wouldn't. Yeah, it was bad, man. They told me I wouldn't walk. So supposedly I was not going to walk again. I spent 3 years on, like crutches and walker and all that stuff.
A lot of rehab, of rehabilitation, and everything else.
I didn't have insurance, so I couldn't rehab. What I did was I got on YouTube And every morning I watched videos. I typed in, you know, how to rehab this injury, and I just started doing it. And
wow,
it took 3 years, but last year I started walking, and just before that, you know, I had enough of the pain medicines, and that had led me to heroin. And I didn't shoot up. I was snorting fentanyl. I died twice. My father went to my father's house one day to have dinner. We don't ever eat together. It's the craziest story. I remember doing the bump, and it always gave me energy. And I did that one, and I remember I was sitting out back, and I was going, how do I feel like I'm falling asleep? That's not right.
Yeah.
It was fentanyl, and I died. I was dead 8 minutes. And for some reason, that night, my dad came out to ask me if I wanted to eat with him. He said he came out, and he was like, let's eat. And he smacked me in the head, and, you know, I was blue and cold.
That's divine intervention right there, having your dad know that there's something wrong with you. Come out, smack you in the back of the head, now you're now breathing, and then be able to take the right measures to save your life.
Yeah.
Even Dave says he loves you, man.
Yeah, David Hayes.
Dave's the man. Even though he ain't been talking to me lately. He don't love me no more.
Oh, he loves you, man.
He's busy. He's been very busy with the group.
You know, when I first met him, and you know, I saw he was the owner of that group, I was really expecting, like, you know, like a serious. He started talking. I was like, this dude is out there. He is so funny. Like, he makes me laugh. Like, I love talking to him. He just says shit that's just like out there. I like that. I'm like, yeah, man, let's get weird.
Okay, watch the language, brother. Watch the language. You got to keep it a little PG.
Oh yeah, sorry about that. Yep.
It's cool.
David is very nice.
He's very nice.
When he gets time to talk. Been so busy.
Oh man, the poor guy's been so busy trying to keep up with all the websites and everything. So after you
let me say this real quick, man. I am so grateful for those sites, because before I posted that first video on hippies and Harleys, I was literally gonna not ever post another video again. I was done, because I have 800 friends on there and could get no views or no comments. And I posted that one video, man, and the reaction was just incredible. The support I got from those groups is amazing. And I am great.
How do you feel about singing a song right now?
I can do that. You know, I just did a little, you know, Eddie Van Halen died today.
I know, man.
You want to do a little tribute?
So I put together a little acoustic version of Mean Street. So why don't I give that a try for you?
Go for it. Would love to hear it, man.
Yeah.
This is something you don't hear often. Van Halen on acoustic.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, now let's see if I can let's remember everything. All right, here we go. You ready?
Yeah.
Right now I walk these stupid streets, past the crazies on my block, and I see the same old faces, and I hear that same old talk. And I'm looking for the latest thing, I'm breaking this routine. I'm talking some new kicks, man, like you ain't never seen. This is home. This is Mean Street. Yes, it's home. The only one I know. And we don't worry about tomorrow. Just look at these four walls. What you think was nothing might be something after all. And I'm looking for the latest thing, breaking this routine. I'm talking some new kicks, man, ones like you ain't never seen. This is home. This is Mean Street. Yes, it's home. The only one I know. So now let's talk about my friends. It ain't once upon a time. It's all over but the shouting. I've come to take what's mine. And I'm looking for the latest thing. And I'm breaking this routine. I'm taking some new kicks, man, ones like you ain't never seen. This is home. The only one I know. See, a gun is easy in this desperate side of town. Turn the hunted into a hunter. Gonna hunt somebody down. Wait a minute! Somebody said, fair warning. Lord, Lord, strike that poor boy down. This is home. Yes, it is Main Street. Yes, it's home. The only one I know. Something like that.
Wow. Eddie would be proud, man. Eddie would be proud, man.
Thanks,
That's a
guys.
hard song to do on acoustic, man.
Wow.
I can't hear you now for some reason.
You hear me now?
How about now?
No.
How about now, Mike? Oh, I think we may have lost Mike by accident.
I think we did.
Well, Mike, if you're out there listening, just go ahead and dial back using that link, and when you pop back into the green room, we'll bring you back on.
Yep, no problem.
That was Mike. There
you
go.
are.
There we go.
Back. Hold on. Let me get this thing right again.
There you go.
There
Hey,
we go.
it's live. Things happen on live TV. You just go with it. Man.
Well,
You know,
my phone was ringing while I was playing, actually, so I think it did something.
Yeah.
Now, not now.
That's an amazing song you just came up with.
Yeah.
I'd never played it before. I just, I got so affected by Eddie. I actually did this too.
Oh, thank you, Eddie. So
That was
Revere-
the song. That's the song that inspired me to play. So.
Really?
Yeah, it was, man. That's the first time I heard that song. I remember exactly where I was, and I was like, I want to do that.
Yeah, David said, rest in peace, Eddie.
Yeah.
Man, not just a musician, man, but he's a great father. He was good to people. He was a good person.
You never heard anything bad about him at all. The only thing that ever happened was when he divorced Valerie Bertinelli. That was about it. That was about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You never see him in the limelight. You never see him doing drugs. He's never on the news. So,
no, brother, neither one really. The only one he saw in the news all the time was freaking Diamond Dave.
Yep. So I tend to try to celebrate life and not mourn death. So we had him, and we should all feel fortunate that we did have him.
Yes. Girls Gone Wild has a member. They call him all the time.
Oh.
Girls Gone Wild has a member.
He's a member of Girls Gone Wild. Oh.
That man got jokes.
We had all those groupies on the bus and everything else.
Yeah. So
I got a capo on. I can't. I was gonna give him the beep, 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 beep.
Go ahead. So, is Mean Street your favorite song to play since it was your inspiration?
I've never played it until 40 minutes ago. Was the first time I ever played it. I don't know it. I kind of came up with it. I could hear it in my head. I was like, let me just figure out my own little, whatever I can do with it, and I did it. I was actually nervous playing it right now because I got one of the verses wrong too because I was a little iffy.
We didn't know.
I couldn't tell. To me, it sounded perfect.
I appreciate that. I did the video of it earlier. It took me like 12 times, and then I had a good take, and my glasses kept slipping off. I always wear my glasses. I got so mad, I literally ripped my glasses in shreds and stomped them all over the floor.
Oh my.
Terrible, because I was just so inspired. Like, I have to do this, I have to. So,
that's
but no, I love all their stuff, man. Unchained is another one of my favorites. Jamie's Crying. Ice Cream Man. Ice Cream Man was great. I'm on a live show. Go away.
Didn't Dave's father actually sing that song? And he was a blues singer, and David Lee Roth went ahead and sang that song too, or something like that.
it was his sister, I think, is what the deal. I think she played harmonica or she played something on that song. It might have been his sister on Ice Cream.
Yeah, Ice Cream Man.
That was great. I think I knew that. It was I'm your ice cream man, baby. Stop me when you pass me by. Well, I'm your ice cream man, baby. Stop me when you pass me by. See now my flavors are guaranteed to satisfy. I heard that. And Spanish guitars. Spanish guitars is just unbelievable. Senorita for that one.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Senorita was great, man. The guitar work in that song is just
Panama still one of my favorite songs.
Yeah,
Panama still got to be one of my favorite songs.
Panama, yeah. Yep.
Because that's just
And,
a hard driving song. And it's just great to hear David's hitting all the vocals, screaming like he normally does. You gotta love stuff like that.
I this was long before I even got into my band. I used to take a penny and I would flick it on a map, and wherever that penny landed, I would play my guitar there. And I ended up in Manhattan. And
okay,
what's that?
I said okay. You ended up in Manhattan.
Yeah. I go to a bar. I didn't know what else to do, and in the bar is David Lee Roth and the singer of Yes. And the three of us and some other guy end up in the bathroom doing cocaine.
Well, that's a story. It sounds like something David Lee Roth would be doing.
Yeah, he had a loft, I guess, above the bar or like right across the street and above. But he lived like somewhere right there where that bar was. So they said he comes in like 4 or 5 times a week. It was great. Him, I understand, but the singer of Yes, that was odd. And he was the one with coke.
When it comes to rock stars and it comes to the rock star lifestyle and everything that goes with it, nothing like that surprises me anymore, especially being in this industry for a while and seeing and hanging out with the bands.
We don't get shocked anymore.
We don't get shocked.
As a musician and a writer and somebody who used, I like my rock stars on drugs. If they weren't on drugs, you wouldn't have a Stairway to Heaven. You wouldn't have a Dream On. You wouldn't have a Whipping Post. These drugs inspire, help these guys become who they were. So if they can do it, you can do it, and you can maintain your life, and you can pay your bills.
That's the thing. Most of it kills these people.
Yeah, and they can't.
And they can't handle it. They can't cope with it. They wind up dying from it at an early age. That's why I'm glad you're clean now.
Exactly.
Yeah, being clean right now is a hell of an accomplishment. Tell us about getting sober.
Really, it was I had gotten in trouble. I was on probation, going through all kinds of stuff, trying to hide the fact that I was using because I want to go back to jail.
Yeah.
And I was literally playing my guitar out here on the highway, on the exit ramp of the highway, because I'd make like $50 an hour out there just playing. People were surprised. They see you out there, and then when they hear me, they'd be like, "You can actually play."
Yeah.
So, a cop came by and he told me to leave. So I walked back to the house and I was like, no, you know what, man, I'm ready. I was like, there's only one way for me to there goes my mouth again. There's only one way for me to get off this. Clearly, I'm not going to get off. And I walked back out to that corner. He circled back around. He flashed his lights. He told me to leave again. I shook my head no.
You wanted to go to jail.
How long?
No, you wanted to go to jail to get off the street.
Yeah.
I've heard of that.
I told him, got down there, give me the time and take me off. I had like 3 years of probation. I was like, just give me the time, whatever it is, I don't care. And I laid there in that little jail cell for the first month, puking all over myself and going through it. And
that's no way to go.
Yeah, detoxing in prison's got to be the worst thing in the world.
It was pretty bad, man. No, the worst thing in the world is using.
That's correct. And now, what do you tell people out there that want to recover? What's your advice to somebody that is a talented person that just happened to, it happened, to the best of them? And what would you say to that person to be able to get themselves sober and clean?
I usually, and I know a lot of people, and I try to talk to little people, and I found that there's nothing you can tell them. The real thing I try to tell them is to consider the people that love them. If you're not going to do it for you, do it for your father. Do it for your sister. Do it for the people that you're killing. I tear up thinking about what I put my family through, and that helped me get through. But, man, with an addict, if they want to get clean, they're going to get clean. It's just that simple. When
It's
you're
a
sick
mind-
and tired of being sick and tired, you're done.
Yeah.
Anybody who's something different is lying to themselves. You know, they still want to use. And I see people every day, man. I go sit and talk with the guys, the homeless guys out there. I watch them stick needles in their arm, and a lot of people are like, "Wow, man, doesn't that make you want to use?" And I'm like, "No, it's the exact opposite, man." I sit under that bridge sometime, and I think of how close I came to being under that bridge too.
Or
The
dying.
shame, the dirty. I would have rather been dead than the shame.
Do you go out a lot and sit and sing a lot?
Oh, I haven't played a show in probably 5 years.
Not a show, but I mean, do you just go and sit
And play.
and play?
No, but I think about it all the time because when I did, you know, I always shock people, so I like to do that, and it's like a surprise to people, and it's a great way to meet. You know, I meet so many people when I'm just sitting there playing. But no, I haven't even gone and taken my guitar out of the house, not in a couple of years.
You got to, brother. You got to. You're too talented to stay in that house, man. A word of advice: I listen to you play, and I know a lot of musicians, and you're raw talent. You're trained talent, which is a little bit different. Trained talent. You can pick up the guitar like you just did and go ahead and play. If I said go play Panama, figure it out in 5 minutes. You'd probably listen to it 2 or 3 times and just start playing.
How did you get that? I mean,
I'll say that for later. I didn't have training. I can't tell you what chord I'm playing for the most part. I have no music theory. I know a couple of chord names, the basics. I don't know anything about music. I never had a lesson.
You don't know how to read music?
Oh, heck no.
And you can play that well.
Well, we've run into people like that. I have a friend of mine that's a drummer,
Yeah.
Dave Dix.
He's amazing.
He's amazing, you know, and Hat-Trick's the name of that band, and he has never taken a drum lesson in his life. He's probably one of the best drummers I've ever met.
Yeah, they are. You know why? Because those are the people that play because of what they feel, not because of what they think. And I always say that, you know, I don't want to even learn it because I'm afraid it's going to put me in that box of theory, you know. And music's not supposed to have boundaries, you know. And the little theory that I was learning at one point was like, they were saying, "Oh, you can't do this, or you have to." I'm like, I don't ever want to hear a can't with music, you know.
Yeah.
So
because
and,
special.
you know, I went through a lot in my life. You know, I was on my own. I left home probably at 9. I lived in a tree house. My mom was an addict, heroin addict. My dad was a bad alcoholic. You know, he tried. So I literally left home at 9. I got molested by a pastor. I started trying to go to church, and nobody believed me. I went back on the streets, got into crack. I was 14 years old, breaking into cars. And 16, I tried to go back home. And the day I tried to go back home, the house was burnt to the ground. Fire department was out there. My dad went one way. My mom went another way. My sister went another way. And
wow.
It was
I'm
tough.
surprised you turned out as well as you did.
Yeah.
Seriously, I'm surprised you turned out as well as you did with how dramatic your life was.
I had to, you know, like it was a choice.
Yeah.
And it was a conscious choice to say, what do I want to be? You know, do I want to be somebody who's loved? Do I want to be somebody who helps people? Or I want to be a piece of junk, you know, worthless.
Exactly.
You want to be a constructive member of society, and also you're so damn talented. You got to get your music out. You got to.
Definitely.
Even if you
You
just
gotta
find a
get
bunch
that
of guys
guitar
to
out.
jam with on a weekend, man, go and do it. Your credentials and your talent alone should be able to get you a gig wherever you want.
I mean, you enjoy playing it and making the videos, right?
Oh, that's one of my favorites. I do it every day after work. I come home, I take a shower, I cook for my dad, and ask him every night. I'm like, all right. I tell Charlie Dog, I'm like, Charlie Dog, time for some guitar.
What
And
about
I do everything.
going to a
You know,
bar somewhere or anywhere and just sitting and playing?
Just to get used to coming in front of people again. Like tonight,
It's been tough because in October of last year, you know, nobody here is mechanically inclined, and we tried to do an oil change after not doing one for a long time, and it blew the engine of the car. And we still owe 10 grand on the car. The finance company came and took it, and I've been without transportation until I bought my little scooter. You know, I did a couple side jobs and saved my money, and I spent like $800, and I got a little scooter, which I got my butt kicked on the other day. That was pleasant. So I don't have like transportation to get too far. I mean, I do have the scooter, but you know, it's I haven't been able to go.
Heather?
About the scooter. I know if you wanted to tell everybody what happened with the scooter.
Oh, it's funny. It's actually kind of funny. I was driving home from work, and some kids come up in this real nice truck. Kid comes out the back window, tattoos on his face, hair blazed, and he's like, "You think you're cooler than us because you drive a scooter?" I really thought he was joking.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Yeah, I thought he was joking, so I didn't really say anything, and he starts yelling it more. So now I see what's going on. I'm from the streets. I already knew at that point they're trying to start a fight with me. So I yelled back. I'm like, no, I feel pretty stupid on this thing, actually. Which I do kind of. I used to drive bikes, and I had nice bikes in my life, and now I'm on a scooter. But I thought it was over. He rolled up the window. I pulled the light. I wasn't even paying attention. I'm kind of just staring off, and I see the flash out the corner of my eye. Now I got a guy in front of me, and he's swinging. So I'm trying to keep my balance, and I'm blocking him. He didn't even get no shots in. I'm swinging. I'm blocking him while I'm on the scooter. And from behind, that kid in the back seat must have come out, and he caught me. And, it wasn't bad. They hit me like 15 times or something like that. I've been definitely through worse than that.
Did they rob you or anything like that?
Oh, no, nothing. They jumped right back in their car, and they took off. They planned to do that. That's what they do, down here in Miami. No. I'm not angry with them, man. I try to put myself too and try to think like maybe that they're going through something at home. Maybe their parents abused them. Maybe, you have to.
You're a better
and
man.
I hope no ill will for me. And I had the karma coming for me. It's been coming for me for a long time because I did similar stuff. I didn't jump nobody on a scooter, but I started fights with guys who were like, "Hey, man, I don't want to fight. I don't want to fight," and I hit them. So that's my karma, and I got it back, and I took it like a man, and I'm done.
Are you going to be? So you haven't performed in a while. So would you? I mean, this is just throwing it out there. Why don't you try doing it? Really?
It's not something I want to do on my own. That's one of the main reasons. Because even after the band broke up, I still kept playing, and I had I took over the band as the singer. And then that fell apart. We were touring and everything. I had a new CD out and had a #1 song in Colombia, and things were going great. And in the middle of the tour, the guys were like, "Dude, you're not allowed to drink no more. You can't do anything." These guys were sniffing coke, eating pills, and I didn't for like 3 nights. And one night I had a bad night, and I was like, "Waitress?"
Yeah.
And I drank a bunch of vodka. I took 3 girls back into the RV, and I woke up the next morning. The guys were like, "We quit. We told you you're not allowed to drink."
Wow.
So I really I just couldn't go through it. It was hard enough the first time to get so close to your dreams. And, the first time it happened when we lost it was because my singer said he was in love with my sister, who was in love with him. And I said, "That's awesome. I'm so happy." And he came to the studio with a stripper a month later.
I don't think that worked out too well, huh?
No, it didn't. I tossed his ass off every wall. And then that moment on, things got bad between us. I mean, we were playing with Mountain. You remember those guys? Mississippi. And I remember I was shooting my amp, and he came. I didn't even mean to, but he came and tapped me on the shoulders. He's like, "Let's have a good show." And I judo flipped him on the stage in front of all those people. And it was bad. It was bad. And he left.
Oh my God.
And this is a great one. We were playing an acoustic show one time, and he started singing real soft. He had a very delicate voice, amazing singer. So I started playing softer, but he looks at me, he goes, "Dude, why are you playing soft?" I'm like, "Because I can't hear you." He's like, "No, it's that loser attitude." I literally turned my guitar off, and I go walking out. So here I am going for the front door, and as I get to the front door, I have the sensation that I'm floating in air. Well, I was. He grabbed me by the seat of my pants, and he escorted me out the door. And by the time I turned around, man, he looked like a phoenix rising. He was doing like a Bruce Lee judo karate flip kick. And he caught me in the side of the head, knocked me on my back, jumped on me like a frog. He was like, 1, 2. I remember the 4th punch coming. I finally got him and rolled him back over and ended up throwing his head through the grill of a Cadillac. It was crazy, man. But you know what? The newspapers had a field day with us down here. Our local papers were always writing. And that's what made the band exciting, though, too. It's kind of like you didn't know if we were going to rock the hell out of you, if we were going to beat each other up. Or
publicity is good publicity for you, too.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the truth. Well, listen, Mike, it's been a pleasure having you on the show, man. Our hour is just about up there. I really am interested in talking to you some more. I want to get back with you
Yeah,
on
and
that.
I just want to say on one thing on the side note, you say that you don't want to, play, but guess what? You played tonight in front of 1,000 people.
It's not that I don't want. It's not that I don't want to play. It's I don't want to do it. My point to that other story, which I got distracted from, was that I ended up doing acoustic stuff by myself for a couple of years, and it was the most miserable, lonely. I went from playing for 20,000 people, 40,000 people, and I'm playing for like 10 or 15 people who don't even clap, who didn't even realize I was there. And I'm like, I don't want to be remembered like that. I don't want to go out like that. I'm going to meet some people, and if I can meet some guys that are down and are serious, because I don't have tolerance in music. You got to be serious. I'd put something together and I would play.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Well, listen, Mike, I am going to keep you in mind because I know a lot of bands out there, and I'll be getting back to you.
Yeah,
with that,
definitely.
We know a lot of bands, and we do know one or two that need a good guitar player, singer.
Yeah, but he lives in Miami, I believe, right?
Okay.
Yeah, Fort Lauderdale.
Okay, well, it's been a pleasure having you.
Really appreciate you guys, man. Thank you so much. This was a lot of fun.
Thank you, brother, and your performance was wonderful. I mean, just being able to go off the cuff doing acoustic Eddie Van Halen, I mean, I give you kudos. I really do.
Definitely, that was great.
Hey, go big or go home, right?
That's right. That's right. Well, listen, Mike,
all right,
you have yourself a great day, and we will be in touch. How's that sound, man?
All right, and stay blessed, people.
Thank you
do
very
the same
much.
and keep playing, okay?
Yes. Well, that
All
was
right,
Mike
everybody.
Sharpe. I'm sorry the show ran a little bit long, but Mike is just an interesting dude with a lot of interesting stories. He led a rough life, but the man has persevered. He's sober, and he's come through, and he's now going to be doing he's going to be
Great
doing it again.
music.
He's going to be doing it again. I really see that coming.
Yep, and it's been I liked his music.
Yes. Well, on that note, we're going to tell you to keep it shiny side up.
Rubber side down.
And we love you all.
That's right. Deuces.
Deuces, baby. Till next week.